to Let's Chat, the Tennessee Valley's premier show focusing on lifestyle and entertainment with Jess Raby and Chip Chapman, bringing you smart shopping tips, community events, and the newest trends. Now, let's chat.
Just ahead of tonight's presidential debate, which you'll see starting at 9 o'clock right here on CBS and News 12 Now, we wanted to talk with a couple of local folks who are more than active in politics and find out their take on what they think the debate holds for us tonight. We'll begin with Marsha Yessick, whose studio is right down the street, Yessick Interior Design. Marsha, good morning to you.
Good morning.
And a longtime political leader, activist, Stuart James. Activist sometimes gets a bad rap these days.
It gets a bad rap, but that's okay.
We'll say political leader. Stuart was the former chair of the Hamilton County Democratic Party for 2 years. Marsha is the current Hamilton County Republican Party chair, and this is your 4th year of service, correct? Good morning to you both. Thanks for sharing your time.
Chip.
I know you guys are busy. I want to ask you about the last presidential debate. What did the respective candidates do well? What message did they fail to articulate? Marsha, you're the female. We're in the South. Ladies first.
What Trump did was plead his case. He was out there telling the American people what the economy has done for the United States under the Trump economy and how well the economy is doing. And he also was speaking to all the American people about his promises that he has made and the promises that he has kept. And he was a little bit brash sometimes, but he was not told. He was told to shut up.
Stuart, your response to that. How do you think Biden did in the debate? How do you think Trump and Biden interacted together, and what was your take on the whole situation?
They didn't interact well, which was a really disappointment to me, and I blame that a lot on the moderator. I think Donald Trump was overly aggressive. He came off too strong, but he does that because that's what his base wants him to do. That 35 to 40% of people want him to be that strong. What Joe Biden did was he lost his temper a couple of times, but I think the thing about Joe Biden is he didn't have to do a whole lot because if polls are correct, he's leading. So he just had to lay low like he did and try to do what he could do. And the crowning moment for Democrats, I got to tell you, was when he told the president to shut up, because he should have.
Now, well, granted, but the polls you mentioned, you can commission a poll where you and I are running for president, and we're winning. In a lot of the polls that Biden is leading in, statistically, it's a tie. Do you think these polls are going to change between now and Election Day? And if so, why?
They always change before Election Day because, nothing's changed about politics. What's made politics more exciting is social media because it's so instant. But what's going to happen between now and Election Day, the debate tonight won't make much of a difference, is those polls are going to close. It's going to be tighter and tighter. And that's what's normally happening because people make up their minds right about now. However, remember, over 22 million people have already voted. And this election could already be decided.
Is that a good thing for Republicans? Is that a good thing for Democrats?
Generally, Republicans do early vote, but they also decide that they're going to go and vote in person on November 3rd. So you'll see a lot of Republicans voting on Election Day.
Do you think the election has already been decided? Not will the debate change anybody's mind tonight, but do you think the election has already been decided?
I do not. And I think that the polls, of course, as we learned last time with the polls, they are not always accurate. There is one poll, the Trafalgar poll, that does say Trump has an 88% chance of winning this election. And he is also the one last time, his polling company, that predicted Trump would win last time.
And they were correct.
And they did.
Stuart, your thoughts?
I think the dynamics have changed. I don't look at one poll or another because you could look at Gallup versus Trafalgar versus any other poll. I look at averages, and what the averages show us right now is Trump's got a 14.1% chance of winning this election. However, with that said, it's the Electoral College that decides this election, and if Donald Trump can pull off what he did several years ago and win in these key swing states that we're talking about, he could still win this election and still lose a popular vote.
Is this a personality election or is this a policy election? Or is it both?
This is an election, if Trump wins, America wins. That's the election tonight at the debate.
Right.
And he will do well tonight at the debate, and he will let Biden talk because sometimes Biden can't put two sentences together well. So he will just stand back, I think, and let Biden make his case.
Do you think that's a winning strategy for Trump?
Yes, but Trump, you know, is he will fight back, and if Biden attacks him, he will fight back as he always has.
Stuart.
I think it's going to be more of the same like it was before, because Donald Trump doesn't change in terms of his personality. He is what he is. Whether you like him or not, he's going to be aggressive. He's going to go after Hunter Biden. He's going to try to get Joe Biden off message, and he's going to do his best to do that. Joe Biden, all he's got to do is stay on message. And if Trump talks about Hunter Biden, Joe Biden can say 2 words, fake news, and move on. And just let Trump be Trump, because you're not going to change Trump voters' minds. And to be quite honest with you, you're not going to change Biden voters' minds. You know, Biden stutters. Trump, a lot of people think that he's got some mental problem. Both men are over 70 years old, and I got to say this for both of them. It is highly impressive that both men are going through this kind of election and this kind of campaign. But when the day is over, people are going to vote 2 things: health care and the economy. That's what they're going to do, and they're both tied together, and that's what Biden needs to do tonight. That's his message tonight.
We'll be back with more from Stuart James and Marsha Yessick coming up right after this on the special edition of Let's Chat.